This is VCD 2541 production log number 4. This is Michael Kotis reporting. This production log is focused primarily on level design. So currently I am in the level map or level diagram. As I've mentioned in previous production logs, I'm working with something called Match 3 starter kit and mobile menu starter kit. So the layout of this level map is not complete. It's very basic. I'm going to click on level 1, however.
Land ahoy! There be treasure!
Okay, so level 1 starts out as a basic rectangular playing area. The goal is to make matches of 3 or more like tiles. So currently there are 5 different tile colors. The goals are in a list over on the left-hand side of the board. So the reason that these numbers are so small right now is because I was working on the win/lose screen that will only appear after the level is played. So in order to test and develop this win-lose screen, win obviously if you reach all the goals and lose if you don't, that's why I have the goals so low, so that I could test that out. I could complete the level with just a few drags of the mouse and then test out that screen and go back. So let me go ahead and do that. I'll just go ahead and play through this level, and it'll go really quick, and the win screen will appear. Okay, so this is a win screen that I've been working on, and the reason that the cannon is exploding is because it's actually, the cannon will go on a lose screen. But since I can only generate the lose screen or make the lose screen visible if I actually lose a level, it's very difficult to lose a level without just, the only real way to lose it on purpose is to just kind of let the time run out, and rather than adjusting the time variable, I just went ahead and worked on the lose screen imagery on the win screen. This is the win screen. The only difference is that the animation of the destroyed cannon would go on a lose screen. I will for the win screen, I'll have another animation that shows the cannon firing kind of in salute or celebration, but I'm working on both or experimenting with both animations on the win screen. It just makes it a little bit simpler. Once I get everything the way I would like, I'll go ahead and make a copy of these game objects and put the ones that apply into the lose screen, or into there's a game object that contains the children game objects that contain the elements for the lose screen. So this is something that I've been working on quite a bit. So I'll go ahead and go on to the next level. Okay, for level 2, I have a bit more complex board, a playing field. It's a bit wider. There's more
There be
tiles.
treasure.
It's got an irregular shape with a cutout in the middle, which makes it the difficulty level a little bit higher because the cutout blocks the tiles from falling in a straight line, so it means it's a little bit harder to make matches. And the same with the jagged corners. It makes it a little bit harder to make matches. Now these are all the same tile colors as in level 1, the same number of tiles, but for level 2, it's just
Jolly Roger.
it's kind of easing the player into a little bit higher level of difficulty. So it's essentially it's the same as level 1 except for the irregular game board. And here I have the standard goal numbers here. So the pirate flag tile, you need in before the time runs out, and the timer is running out right now, the player needs to destroy 175 tiles by making matches of 3 or more like pieces.
Land ahoy.
And then all the rest are just 100. So this is sort of the one that the player has to focus on. And what I'm going to do is play through this, excuse me, so that we can go on and see level 3.
Life on the open seas.
So this is the default win screen provided by Mobile Menu Starter Kit. And I will, as you can see, it's not ideal. I'm going to go on to the 3rd level. Okay, so the 3rd level that I designed, I introduced a different color tile, this little green parrot tile, and that now becomes the one that has a higher goal than the other tiles, so that becomes the focus of the player. And this board is a bit more irregular, which means it's a little bit more challenging. It's the same amount of time, the same number of tiles that need to be
Jolly Roger.
destroyed, but a more irregular game board. It's got some bigger bites out of it, I guess is a good way to describe it. So it'll be harder to make matches because there's so many irregularities here. But what I did do, and this is a feature of the Match 3 starter kit, is that I was able to specify that I could
There be treasure.
have certain tiles in certain spaces. So in order to help out the player and give the player a little bit of a head start, since the highest number of number of tiles that need to be destroyed are the green parrots, then I specified more green parrots along the top row and along the bottom row. So there are alternating 2 green parrots and then 1 pirate flag, so that the player can start off quickly making some matches and getting a little bit of a leg up. That's the Match 3 starter kit has a game board editor, and it's fairly easy to use. There are some challenges with it, though. There seem to be some quirks or bugs in this. So I'll go ahead and just play this a little bit.
Life on the open seas.
Okay, so one of the things that I learned as I was working on designing these game board levels, which are essentially designing puzzles, is that they really need to be played and tested a lot to see what the playability is. One thing I noticed is that I had made a board that was a little bit more complex than this, that was a little bit more cut out. I think I had the middle 3 rows here cut out, and it made it very difficult to make matches, and I actually ended up with a stagnant area of the board where I wasn't able to make any more matches, and it was just sort of locked up. And this is a starter kit. It was fairly inexpensive, and the Match 3 editor does have a full version. And one of the features of the full version is that there's a way for the player to reshuffle the board. So I think that would be helpful. So I am planning on purchasing that full version at some point, but I'm thinking it maybe if and when it goes on sale. But the starter kit gives me a pretty good idea of how to go about creating these boards. I really think that shuffle feature is, I think it's almost necessary if I want to make any more complex boards than this, or more challenging boards than this. Also, as I was going through the level design, you saw earlier that there are some pretty kind of goofy win and lose screens, and the one that I developed with the cannon and the flag, that's something that I'd like to obviously add to all of the levels, not just the first level, which is the one that I was working on it in. And there's really there's so much to do in terms of just the menu design, that I think that my sense is that it would be a mistake to go ahead and make, if I've got like 10 levels or 12 levels, to go ahead and spend a lot of time making all these different levels, only to go back and have to create the menu design, the win screens, lose screens, things like that, pause screens, because then I would have to go and apply all those individually to each individual level. So it seems like it's a good idea to work in a single level and really get everything functioning and working visually, aesthetically, functionally as well, with 2 or 3 levels, and then apply those to further levels on down the road. I'm learning that designing these levels, designing these game boards with different sorts of features, locked tiles, and there's a way to make kind of like a barrier, like a boulder in the tile. Here we go. Here's the lose screen. And the level design is really kind of a job unto itself. The menu design is very, it's kind of like two different roles. I can imagine somebody who is the guru of creating these sort of match 3 puzzles, and then somebody who's a guru of the level design. And I'm trying to be both. I think I really, before I get heavy into the designing the levels, I really need to get the, get rid of this sort of stuff and customize it for myself. So let's go back to the first level so you can see my, that's the lose screen. Okay, so a nice contrast with the other lose screen or win screens. This is what I'm working on. Okay, so that's all for now. Thank you for watching.